From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Republicans and Democrats sound off on the future of health care in the United States tonight.
Plus, Arizona Congressman Raul Grijalva arrested outside of Trump Tower while protesting for DACA.
And Cindy McCain is back on Capitol Hill trying to fight the growing number of cases of online sex trafficking.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Maya Petros.
And I'm Ryan Curry. Thank you for joining us. The ongoing battle over repealing and replacing Obamacare heated up in the nation's capital today. Republican Senators Bill Cassidy and Lindsey Graham have introduced a bill in order to repeal Obamacare by the September 30 deadline.
Every Republican out there believes that this is a fundamental reason we're in charge, that Democrats have lost a lot of seats backing a bad idea, and we've been the biggest political beneficiary of Obamacare, and we want to try to make patients the beneficiary of our idea.
No matter how many ways they try to dress it up, they try to hide it, it's even more dangerous and more reckless than the previous bill that was defeated. Simply put, Trump care is a sham.
Cronkite News also caught up with Arizona Senator John McCain, who expressed his frustration over the way this health care bill is taking shape. He's a longtime ally of Senator Graham, but this takes issue with the lack of legislative process, as there's only one hearing planned for the bill.
Do you think that that's regular order? I always thought regular order was hearings and debates and amendments and then to the floor with debates and discussion amendments. That's what I thought regular order.
What would it take for you to fully support the bill?
Enough assurance that the bill would help my state of Arizona and would be good for the country.
So how is this bill different from the one proposed just a few months ago? Cronkite News reporter Holly Bernstein breaks down the bill and shows us what impact it could have on Arizona.
The Graham-Cassidy bill is Republicans' latest effort to repeal Obamacare. So what would this new bill do? It would repeal individual and employer mandates and replace the subsidy system with state block grants. Each state would receive money and determine how that money should be used. The proposal would also end Medicaid expansion, ease protections for pre-existing conditions, and defund Planned Parenthood for 1 year. According to analysis by the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, Arizona would lose $1,600 million in federal funding by 2026. Taking a look at the votes, Republicans were only one vote away from passing the last bill, and that vote belonged to Senator John McCain. McCain has said that he would support the new bill if Arizona Governor Doug Ducey did. Ducey says he supports the bill, saying in part in a statement, quote, Graham-Cassidy is the best path forward to repeal and replace Obamacare, end quote. Republicans can currently pass a health care bill with a 51-vote majority. But after September 30th, when procedural protections to a Democratic filibuster expire, they would need 60 votes. So far, only one Republican, Senator Rand Paul, has publicly refused to support the bill. Republicans can only afford to lose one more vote of their own in order to pass the bill with a tie-breaking vote from Vice President Mike Pence. If they lose two more Republicans, then they can't proceed. In downtown Phoenix, Holly Bernstein, Cronkite News.
The American Medical Association expressed concern that repeal of Medicaid expansion and temporary block grants through 2026 would result in tens of millions of people losing coverage. The deadline for voting on the bill is September 30th.
One group that may see a larger impact from any healthcare change would be those with special needs. Sydney Eisenberg attended a discussion to help them sort through the political confusion.
An important part of this new bill would allow states to come up with their own structure for health care. However, many in Arizona are worried that this change would lead to devastating coverage losses.
We were basically politely stonewalled with the broken record game. They're not meeting with their constituents to find out what do they want us to vote on. They don't care what we think.
Arizonans are feeling frustrated with health care.
I mean, this is about investing in our people.
The Arizona Autism Coalition set up an open discussion to try and ease some of that frustration.
And what we're trying to do today was, what have you heard? Let's talk about what we know, and let's see if we can figure out how we can move forward with the true understanding for every group.
Many in the special needs community worry about how healthcare changes will impact them. One way they may already be impacted is through a cut to an organization that helps people with their healthcare options.
Unbeknownst to many of the Navigator organizations, we have something like 300 Navigators across the state of Arizona. Their funding was cut two and a half weeks ago by 41%.
Now the community is coming together to stand up for their rights.
This is a call to action, so we need to make sure that we're taking action.
Let them know your thoughts about this, because this is a very, very tight window.
Ken Kennegus does not want those in the special needs community to sit in silence.
That's where we've got to go, is to a system that everyone has a right to the health care that they need based on the fact that they're a human being.
Again, the bill must receive 50 votes by the end of the month in order to pass without bipartisan approval. You can follow Cronkite News for more updates on the health care reform. In the broadcast center, Sydney Eisenberg, Cronkite News.
It's been reported over the last month that Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton is considering a run for Congress. But in an interview today with Cronkite News, Stanton said he has not reached a decision and there's still more to do in his current office.
I'm not willing to make any announcements now. We're looking at a variety of options, and we'll see what opportunities come up. Other people have to make decisions about what political office they're running from. See what opens up, and if one makes sense for me. The truth is, I love being mayor of Phoenix. If I could do it forever, I would, but we have term limits, so they won't let me do it forever.
Arizona Congressman Raul Grijalva was arrested for civil disobedience in front of Trump Tower in New York this morning. Grijalva was marching in a protest against President Trump's decision to rescind the DACA program. Grijalva was arrested with 2 other U.S. representatives and several others participating in the demonstration. Grijalva has been a very vocal critic of President Trump and his policies. In a Facebook post attributed to Grijalva, he said, quote, "I stood in front of Trump Tower today with a whole lot of dreamers, immigrants, and Americans to say enough to Trump and his criminalization of our immigrant communities." Rising cases of sex trafficking have the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation looking for a legislative fix. Cronkite News reporter Trevor Fay went to the Senate committee hearing this morning to get the story.
Tweaking the Communications Decency Act may sound like legalese, but backers say those tweaks could help in the prosecution of online sex traffickers. Cindy McCain is a proponent of the changes and says children's lives are at stake.
Child sexual exploitation and child rape, which is what it is tragic. And that people are getting away with it because of a kink in a law is absolutely despicable.
Senators heard emotional testimony from Yvonne Ambrose, whose daughter was killed in Chicago last Christmas Eve, a victim of sex trafficking.
The sex trafficking of minors should not be happening in our country. Taking advantage of our children on the internet has become such a common thing in this country that people turn the other cheek just because they don't want to believe it's actually happening right here in our backyard.
Senate Bill 1693 is aimed at modifying the Communications Act of 1934 to allow for federal and local prosecutors to go after those who would peddle online sex trafficking on the internet, specifically providers and users of interactive computer services. California Attorney General Javier Becerra is in favor of the bill and says as it stands, state prosecutors don't have the authority to go after online sex traffickers in court.
The Section 230 protection makes it impossible for us to move forward on some of those prosecutions. If we could get past that, we would be able to help so many of these kids so much quicker.
Some, like law professor Eric Goldman, testified the Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act is not necessary to fight online trafficking, and that it could actually further its proliferation. But McCain remains optimistic that the Senate can change the law.
I'm so glad that the Senate has decided to get active on changing the CDA.
In Washington, Trevor Fay, Cronkite News.
The Senate bill already has 29 co-sponsors, including Arizona Senators Jeff Flake and John McCain.
The West Valley continuing to grow.
Coming up on Cronkite News, a look at the retail and entertainment developments underway in the West Valley.
Plus, a new preschool is coming to Buckeye to compensate for the growth in the West Valley.
When a story comes in the morning, we're out the door as fast as we can go.
But it's also great to spend more time in communities and produce projects.
From the borderlands to the cities, the reservations, and even the state capitol, we want to get to the heart of the matter.
When the lights come on in the studio, we know our hard work is about to pay off.
We love what we do here at Cronkite News.
We're proud to tell the stories of our state.
Now, more than ever, it's important to have a trusted news source, and that's Cronkite News.
Officially from 36, and he hooks it in! Arizona State wins! Heaving one deep, and it is caught! Jalen Strong! Do you believe
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse.
TV play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
The West Valley is growing, and so is the need for quality preschools. As Marcia Ophong reports, the Buckeye Elementary School District is opening a second location to help accommodate parents and their students in the city.
I love working with the preschool.
Monica Shook is taking her 6 years of preschool teaching experience to a new location in Buckeye.
Our preschool is special because we care about our families and we really connect with them, and that makes them really comfortable and able to leave their kids with us, and it helps them get ready to go to kindergarten.
Lucia Guerra, a parent who has enrolled both of her kids in the Buckeye School District, says the preschool is convenient.
It's closer to work, closer to home. Now that there's 2 campuses, it's just going to really work out for a lot of families here.
The Buckeye Elementary Preschool, located on the North Campus at Jasinski, opened up for registration earlier this month.
The reason the district decided to open a second site for the preschool is due to the growth. There's not a lot of choices for families on the West Valley for preschool programs, so we thought by opening a couple of classrooms that would really meet the needs of the community.
Nevaeh, where would you like to go? And the families with children in the preschool program appreciate all it offers.
This just seems a lot more interactive, and the curriculum really seems to help my children at least.
I love giving the children that come see us the foundation basically to go to kindergarten. It's really fun. We get to play, which is awesome, and teach them through playing how to be ready to go to kindergarten.
The preschool currently has 25 students enrolled, but is licensed to have 50. In Buckeye, Marcia Ophong, Cronkite News.
The full-day preschool program costs $150 per week.
The West Valley is giving the East Valley a run for its money, at least when it comes to new development. As Erica Arrington reports, nearly 385,000 square feet of new retail space is currently under construction, according to real estate developer CBRE Phoenix.
From barren fields to cramming new storefronts into parking lots, the West Valley is booming with economic development. A resident of Sun City, Bob Kolar, says that he remembers when the West Valley was just dirt roads and farm fields.
The terrain was empty around 101 pretty much. It was still farmland, and then 101 opened up and it just blossomed.
Along with Westgate, more entertainment options are going in, like Topgolf and the expansion of the Desert Diamond Casino and Resort. Sintra Hoffman, president and CEO of Westmark, says the West Valley can be a one-stop shop for future occupants.
We really see ourselves as a very much all-inclusive community where we have everything to offer.
Here in the West Valley, it's hard to find a corner that isn't under construction. As you can see behind me, this retail center is being built that will include a Starbucks, frozen yogurt Menchie's, Raising Cane's, and also a Tokyo Joe's. Another addition to the West Valley is the new PB 303, a 1,600-acre industrial business park that is right off the 303 in Goodyear.
Sun City resident Kolar is excited this new development isn't in his backyard.
It's going to keep those people from shopping over here.
With the expansion of retail and entertainment growth, hopefully for Kolar, more people will have other options for shopping, work, and play. In the West Valley, Erica Arrington, Cronkite News.
Strong population and job growth, according to CBRE, gives a positive outlook for the Phoenix retail market for the rest of 2017.
Wildfires are continuing to burn across much of the Northwest United States.
Coming up on Cronkite News, this often overlooked way that wildfires are started and how the government is potentially getting in the way of stopping this problem when we come back.
Our first official day of fall this Friday, and we are looking at a steep cool down. Your full 7-day forecast coming up.
Tickets are now available for the annual Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism Luncheon, held Thursday, October 19 at the Sheraton Grand Phoenix. Join media industry and community leaders in honoring award-winning co-anchors and co-managing editors of the PBS NewsHour, Judy Woodruff and the late Gwen Ifill. To learn more or to purchase tickets, call 602-496-0482 or visit cronkite.asu.edu/luncheon.
This fall.
I'm so excited!
What?
From the inspiring to the amazing.
You're in the presence of history.
The compelling.
He said, "Welcome home." It was just a powerful moment.
To the astounding.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
And from the breathtaking.
This is real.
A journey to Mars.
To the electrifying.
We're going to change the world.
All this and more. All this fall.
Oh my God!
Third Rail with Ozzy, the new weekly show where we tackle the taboo and debate the tough questions with some of the most interesting minds in the game. I'm Carlos Watson, electrifying conversation, Friday, only on PBS.
A magnitude 7.1 earthquake struck the central Mexican state of Puebla earlier today. The death toll is above 100 people. The quake was felt in the center of Mexico City, which is only about 75 miles from the epicenter. Coincidentally, Mexico City conducted evacuation drills today in case of a major earthquake. The drills were implemented after a 1985 8.1 magnitude quake left 10,000 people dead and caused massive damage throughout the city. Ever since, the precautionary measures have been practiced as a way to minimize the effects of a potential disaster. This latest quake comes just 1 week after an 8.1 earthquake killed 61 people in the southeastern coast of the country.
Hurricane Maria's destructive tear across the Caribbean is well underway. The storm obliterated parts of Dominica with 160-mile-per-hour winds and is threatening catastrophic damage to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's governor said no generation has seen a hurricane like this since San Felipe II in 1928. He urged Puerto Ricans to find shelter immediately, as emergency workers will not be able to help once winds reach 50 miles per hour. Maria ravaged the island of Dominica, causing what their prime minister described as widespread devastation last night. The Category 5 hurricane is expected to make landfall in Puerto Rico tomorrow morning.
Cronkite News will continue to cover all the latest updates about Hurricane Maria.
Now let's go to Emily Bloom in the Weather Center.
Taking a look at Hurricane Maria at the moment, it is currently a Category 5 hurricane with those winds up to 175 miles an hour. As it progresses in the coming days, it is going to skim the coast of the Dominican Republic, and then it will head straight into Turks and Caicos. All of these islands, of course, still picking up the pieces of Hurricane Irma that hit just last week, so this devastation could be very great for them. Back here at home, we are sitting under clear blue skies. We've got 94 down in Tucson at the moment, 95 in Lake Havasu, 74 up at the Grand Canyon, and 73 in Sholo. Taking a look at our futurecast, up at the Pacific Northwest, there is this area of low pressure. This is going to be playing a big factor in our weather forecast in the coming days. As it progresses, it is going to move south, settling in over the Great Basin area. As this happens, it is really going to pull our temperatures down and drive up those winds. Thursday, we could be looking at gusts of up to 30 miles an hour. As we head into the rest of our week, Friday, we have got our first official day of fall. That high drops to 89 degrees with the overnight low at 67. And as we head into our weekend and the beginning of next week, these cooler temperatures stick around, and this is the coolest that we have been since the middle of May. For Cronkite Weather, I'm Emily Bloom.
As wildfires consume many regions of the West and threaten both federal and state land, an APS official told senators today that the utility wants to help, but that federal bureaucracy is getting in the way. Cronkite News reporter Bailey Vogt was in our Washington bureau and was at the hearing.
Though there can be many different causes of wildfires, one you may not think of is trees falling on top of power lines. That's a manageable problem, an Arizona Public Service official said, if the government gets out of the way.
Particular challenges arise when the rights-of-way cross federal lands, largely due to significant delays companies face in getting multiple approvals from different federal agencies to access those rights-of-way or to perform integrated vegetation management activities.
Andrew Rabel is the APS Forestry and Special Program Manager. At a Senate hearing today, he testified that in order for APS to clear the power lines of vegetation, clearing the paperwork needs to be easier.
To help reduce these risks, the electric companies need timely access to public and private lands on which power line rights-of-way are located to perform necessary vegetation management.
Bills that would provide easier access for utilities have been introduced in both the House and Senate. One witness raised concerns that the bills would give utilities too much power over forestry decisions, but Rabel said they will simply allow for a more streamlined process and prevent more fires from sparking.
Both bills would significantly increase efficiencies in the federal review process, allow companies to voluntarily develop and file vegetation management plans to expedite necessary activities, and authorize categorical exclusions under NEPAs for existing rights-of-way.
The House has passed its version of the bill, but no action has been scheduled on the Senate's bill. In Washington, Bailey Vogt, Cronkite News.
There's a new Arizona resident getting some federal protection. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service added the Sonoyta mud turtle to the endangered species list. There is only 5 known populations of the mud turtle left, and only 1 in the U.S. in the Oregon Pipe National Monument in southern Arizona.
A new kind of beer is available in the Valley.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how Valley beer companies are using wastewater to make alcoholic drinks and how consumers are reacting.
Fridays, it's at Cronkite News, your social sharing connection where you choose the news. Facebook likes and shares, tweets, retweets, and favorites. YouTube views and subscriptions. We're watching you watch us. From our digital home at cronkitenews.azpbs.org to your television, web browser, or mobile device. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Then join us for At Cronkite News, our weekly refresh, each Friday at 5 on Arizona PBS.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Human beings are a curious bunch.
What are we going to see when we get really close?
Wow.
Oh my God, absolutely spectacular.
We are at a remarkable moment.
We're going farther than any exploration ever has.
The recent AZ Pure Water Brew Challenge gave breweries across the state the task of making the best tasting beer with one common element, wastewater. And Kurika Amarinier talked to consumers about what they thought about this concept.
I love it.
I feel good about that.
It doesn't faze me.
These consumers are talking about the concept of using treated wastewater to make beer.
We should be using wastewater more appropriately everywhere, and it shouldn't affect the taste.
I actually had somebody say, wastewater beer, wastewater water. And I'm like, I can't tell the difference.
Mother Bunch Brewery in Phoenix recently participated in the AZ Pure Water Challenge, where over 20 breweries competed to see who could make the best tasting beer with treated wastewater. Joel Omar Zamora, head brewer at Mother Bunch, got 500 gallons of the water for the contest.
It was a little bit softer, it was a little bit easier to follow on. Because city water is a little bit harder, it's a little bit more work to get it to where you want it.
His work in creating the beer is paying off.
Been selling like hotcakes.
Lead bartender at Mother Bunch, Marco Hernandez, says by law he has to let customers know about the wastewater beer, but says the response has been overwhelmingly positive.
I'd say about 90% receptive.
However, he says that with the positive reaction, every once in a while, he'll hear opinions from jokesters.
I get a lot of poop water jokes.
Joe Serio, Water Services Superintendent for the City of Phoenix, has also heard his share of doubts from consumers.
It's dirty going out. I would say that's a misconception. I mean, it's pretty clean by the time you get done treating it.
Once the water goes through this treatment process, it is now considered reclaimed, which is not quite yet safe for drinking, but can be purified and used in the beer or this water, which Serio says is just as clean as any water on the market.
Experts predict this practice will only become more prevalent in the future. In Phoenix, in Kirko Marigna, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, a closer look at the latest attempt by Republicans to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. And a new report shows that wages in the Phoenix area last year increased more than in any city in the country.
I'm William Brangham. On the next NewsHour, Judy Woodruff sits down with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan during a period of tense relations between the U.S. and its NATO ally. That's Tuesday on the PBS NewsHour.